He's on his way. I want to talk about something that surprised me earlier. Nicolas Jackson and the fee that it would cost to get Jackson out of Chelsea. Tell us.
Well, we've had some information over the course of the last couple of hours about Chelsea. We know that they've been really active over the course of the last few transfer windows. They've stockpiled players, they've bought players, they've looked at young players, they've got a certain type of profile they look at. One of the players they have signed, Nicolas Jackson, was just in excess of £35 million. There's been a lot of talk about his future as well. We know that Chelsea are happy with the squad they have at the moment, and they are looking to go into the season with two out-and-out number nines, but a third player that can play as a false nine or play as a number nine. João Pedro being one of them, Liam Delap being another. At the moment they have Nicolas Jackson. They also have Pedro Neto as well, who can play in that role. But there's been a lot of talk about Nicolas Jackson and his future at Chelsea. First things first, he's got 8 years left on his Chelsea contract.
That's a great point. He has.
8 years. So Chelsea hold the cards, and they'll be saying, well, actually, for a player of this quality and this calibre, look at Hugo Ekitike, look at his record, look at what he's done. He's going to Liverpool for £79 million. So as far as we're concerned, Nicolas Jackson, who's been playing in a better league, in a tougher league, and scoring goals, actually, he's probably worth £80 to £100 million. So if Chelsea were to sell Nicolas Jackson...
That's a lot of money.
It's a huge amount of money. But you couldn't argue against that based on the market value for other players during this summer's window.
Goodness.
You could argue that Nicolas Jackson is a better player than Hugo Ekitike. He's played Premier League football. He's scored more goals. His record's been fairly solid at Chelsea. Last season, 10 goals in 5 assists in 30 games. The season before that was 14 goals in 35 games and 5 assists.
80 to 100 million, Mark.
Hey.
They're having a laugh.
You having a laugh?
They're having a laugh. Come on, surely.
That's where they're at. Chelsea have the ability to say, this is what we value the player at. And if you've got teams from Saudi Arabia, teams from Europe, maybe other Premier League teams, and I'll tell you one of the other Premier League teams that have an interest in Nicolas Jackson, it's Manchester United. Then you're actually saying, well, you pay 70 plus for Rasmus Højlund, 80 million for Nicolas Jackson, that's not unreasonable. That's the market value for those types of players at that type of age at the moment.
I wonder if Manchester United fans would think that was unreasonable. I bet they would. But there you go, that's crazy money.
Possibly. But ultimately, something in a transfer window is only worth A, what someone wants to pay, and B, what someone is happy to sell for. And just very quickly, Mike, on that Manchester United theme and the Chelsea theme as well, because this Nicolas Jackson departure could mean that they're in the market to make more signings. The likes of Xavi Simons on their radar, Alejandro Garnacho also on their radar, Morgan Rogers at Aston Villa, also a player of interest, and Kenan Yildiz as well, another player they like. So we talk about Chelsea in every single window. Could they be about to spend big depending on the departure of Nicolas Jackson should it happen? Going to be fascinating. This fills me with dread, but we've still got 42 days to go, and it takes less than 24 hours to make a deal happen. We could see a lot of deals between now and September the 1st.
You know we will. Mark McAdam with all the transfer news.
On Chelsea, on PSG, on many other clubs around Europe, and so let's jump into it. Xavi Simons in the next days, in the next hours, is going to be important with movements happening. Well, here you have the movement. Chelsea have started working very strong on Xavi Simons. And Chelsea started working on player side with positive contacts because Xavi Simons is keen on a move to Chelsea. Xavi Simons is attracted by the project, Xavi Simons is tempted by this opportunity, and so Chelsea are really pushing for this chance to go for Xavi Simons, so a really concrete possibility. Then what's going to happen there? Now, Chelsea are talking to the agents. From what I'm told tonight, nothing, but from tomorrow, talks will start also club to club. Chelsea, Leipzig, to try understand about the valuation. We have reports of 75 million euros for Xavi Simons. My information is that the price is going to be below this. Also because Xavi has 2-year contract, he wants to leave, it's clear since May, I told you exclusive story May, Xavi Simons wants to go, wants to leave, and that remains the case. So the price, in my view, will not be something around the 75 million euros. People in the industry expect it to be lower, and so let's follow the situation of Xavi Simons With Chelsea, with discussions to take place with Leipzig, with the player attracted by the project. Also important to say that for Chelsea, outgoings are also important, because okay, they already had several offensive players. You remember, guys, I came here when they signed Joe Pedro and I told you, he's not going to be the last one. They want to add more offensive players, but obviously it depends on outgoings. And Nkunku is a player who is going to leave Chelsea, João Felix is going to leave Chelsea, Sterling is going to leave Chelsea, for Nicolas Jackson there is the possibility. So outgoings are going to open the doors for these opportunities, including Xavi Simons with Chelsea working on this deal and with the player keen on the move.
All right, Jules, Shaka brought up Nicolas Jackson at Chelsea there. It was something we were talking about before the show, because rumors were suggesting that Manchester United are monitoring him. What's the likelihood of that happening, or what's the story there?
Yeah, you're right, Alexis. I think monitoring is the right word to put it. They, as I said before, they've looked and tried to sign many number 9s already this summer. Each one of them just going somewhere else or not wanting to go to Manchester United. They know Nico Jackson is obviously on the market. He's not going to stay at Chelsea, really. There's no room for him there with, João Pedro and the lab signing for the club. And okay, those stats are not too bad, to be fair, in a team that for a long time was just finding his feet. He's not the best number 9 in the world, for sure. I think he's got qualities to do well for United, though. Certainly something that they need in the way Amorim plays. He needs to run the channel. They need somebody aggressive like him. I'm not saying that he's the solution or the answer, but he's certainly better suited and fitted to what Amorim wants to do in that system with the 2 inside 10s and the number 9 in front of them.